Good morning, good morning. My name is Rick Noda, founder of T3 Body, where we tighten, tactical, and transition, and your host here for T3 Talk. Now, you guys, some shameful plugging right here of the new logo. Oh yeah, I love it, you guys. You know, look at the nice streamlined design, how it really shows the different colors, the yellow, the black, the octagon, the octagon of life, the 45s, you guys understand that there is way too much thought. Thanks for Tony for putting that together. One thing about the logo, you guys, if you notice, T3 Body, T3 Talks, we've got T3 Defense. You'll see a bunch of different things. Please comment on the bottom here if you don't know what one of them means, all right? Because, again, in the ecosystem of the T3 brand, man, it's hard to say that, Esteban. It's become like a brand, I know. In the T3 brand, we try to cover what I would consider things that make you more aware, things that are, again, making you more prepared for life in that. So if you have any things that we're unaware of, I mean, it could be basically T3 math if you had a problem with it, because we could use that same Titan tactical and transition formula and implement that into that. Well, with this being really getting close to the Hike for Health and Happiness, I want to make sure that everybody has a good checklist. So right underneath here, you will see a little bit of a checklist. Now, the checklist, you guys, are 5 simple things that you need for me to kind of go and do any hike. First and foremost, number 1 is proper clothing. You guys understand what you're doing terrain-wise. Even though those Lulu pants look great, I think that let me say that again. Those Lulu pants look really great, all right? They look real good. I'm not going to lie, you guys, all right? But when you go up that mountain, again, spandex, again, maybe worn underneath your clothing to wick, might get caught on something. It creates a hole in your spandex, and unfortunately, you get mad then in the rest of the hike because they've actually have split. So if you see what I'm wearing, I like a little bit of a polo shirt. I like some nice trousers. Women wear clam diggers, or they wear those, what I like to say, right below the ankles. Some comfortable shoes. I don't often recommend running shoes. If you have a little bit more of a cross trainer like a shoe, I wear boots that are more of like a running boot, which I have like a sneaker mentality. Your socks, you guys, when you're wearing your attire, this is where you're trying to wear your poly blends. Your 100% wool socks, even though they may be warm at the time, are probably not always your best bet. We used to get issued wool socks in the military, and we used to have to put on our black socks underneath with a little bit of nylon so that they would not create as much blisters in our boots. So wool socks aren't the best. Your poly blend. With socks, I even like to encourage those tube socks that can go above your calves. Gives you a little bit of light compression, especially if you're going up that mountain. So you're wearing a polo shirt, you're wearing some slacks, you've got some comfortable shoes. Some people like hats. I'm not a big fan of hats all the way because, again, all my buddies that wore hats in their youth are all bald. I don't know if it works, but all my buddies, shout out there to my buddy Jonathan Siegel, shout out there to Mondo, who keeps telling me that's one of the reasons why he's bald, is because he wore too many hats. I did wear a cover in the Marine Corps, and in the Marine Corps, we always wear our cover when we're outdoors, but guess what they made us do when we were indoors? Take it off. So that goes even back to my grandmother, you guys. If you're Latino and you you try to wear a cover at your table, my grandmother would be across the room, and I know how she could reach me. She could be in the kitchen and go wham, and give you a quick smack and go, oh my God, I got my cover at the table. Ale! She used to say that Jesus doesn't get close to you. I don't know, you guys, but my point is, wear a hat. You got a hat, you want to wear a schmeg, I wear a scarf, you have sunglasses to protect your eyes from UV rays, my Gator Z's right there, baby. Countless plug again for them. All right, and my clothing. So now I've got my clothing set up. Now a backpack. Now, one correction, you got to wear a belt. He knows what I'm talking to. My producer right there, got to wear a belt. All right, just in case, your pants start to fall. That was a real deal. All right, so head to toe, you got a hat, you've got sunglasses, you may want to wear a scarf because you like that scarf. You have a nice little shirt, you've got your trousers, you've got some nice socks, and you've got some comfortable shoes. Now, we've laid that out the night before because I know we're all doing our sleep hygiene. Now, your backpack. Now, a messenger bag, okay, that could help. But I'm going to tell you, if you're going up and you're trying to traverse, that messenger bag better have a hip strap so it doesn't bounce around. Because if you bend down on a messenger bag, guess what happens to that messenger bag? It whips forward towards you, and it can hit you in a place where you don't really want to. All right? So again, if you also sit down with a messenger bag and it whips, it can hit something else. It can hit someone next to you and throw you off balance. So I do like a backpack. Now, with my backpack, you guys, I pack it in reverse, okay? So I know that I'm going to summit up the mountain, and it may be a little bit more chilly at the bottom, all right? So I'm going to make sure that I have my water on the outside of my backpack because I want to be able to make sure that it's accessible without me having to take my backpack off. The second thing I'm going to have is I'm going to have my cold weather gear or my rain gear on the outside of it, somewhere where I can access it very quickly. All right. Now, I also have a machete that's on the outside. So in case we have to go through some brush, I could pull out my machete and go ahead and clear through some brush. So that's in the outside of my pack. In the inside of my pack, I could have my own personal first aid kit, my tourniquet. I can also have a little bit of food and snacks. I like to carry a change of clothes because if something happens where I'm sweaty and up at the top, and believe it or not, there's snow, you can actually change your shirt out, put on a nice shirt so you're not so cold on the descent down. We're not worried about packing our packs, right? Right? Because we're used to carrying 30 to almost 50 pounds because why do I set that number? Boop. Please place your overhead compartments, your suitcase in the overhead compartments, because that's what the airlines tells me when you go travel. Your luggage cannot exceed 50 pounds to put in that overhead. So you can put up to 30 pounds on your pack and walk up that mountain, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. You guys know about in the Marine Corps, they went ahead and changed the amount of weight that the military, especially the Marines, do. They called it power to casualty. In my era, we carried a 150-pound pack around with us through operations. They found that pack kept you slow enough that they were losing Marines for it. So they went ahead and did a study to see what is the perfect load for an operator to carry. And guess what that number is? 50 pounds. So it's a really nice thing. So if you're starting for the first time, it should be really light. Just maybe your water and your change of clothes, and that's it. Maybe that weighs 12 pounds. You go up the mountain. We're not going anywhere. As those hikes for health and happiness keeps going, you'll be able to increase the weight in there. Even some people have even put weights in their bag because they want to get close to that 50 pounds. I don't recommend that. I recommend you put an SHIT in your pack so that you can get to feel what it feels like to carry someone else's load. Now, with that being said, you got your backpack, you got everything set up. Now you got to bring your mindset. When you come in there, you got to understand that right when you pull in, if you haven't gone ahead and looked at the terrain and know what the terrain is, ask one of the wellness coordinators, hey, what's the terrain? If you understand that it's been a heat wave in San Diego, guess what? Good chance it could be a heat wave out there. So we're going to have to make sure that we have proper electrolytes, proper sunscreen, things like that. Now, if you forget some of that stuff, don't worry. I have a little bit of a village set up so that when you come in, there's snacks, there's water, there's some cots there. I sometimes bring some extra clothing in case you forget. You know, like maybe it is gloves or something that I bring for preference because when I put my hands on the ground, I don't want to necessarily touch nasty rocks. Or if I grab a tree, I'm a nurse, you guys, and you guys have seen my hands before. I don't want to make sure that you go, oh my God, can you put something on? Because you look like you just dragged your knuckles on the ground. That's something where I like to protect my hands. So the gloves are important. Now, with that being said, if you cannot make it to Hikes for Health and Happiness, all right, you give me, it's too early, it's too this, I got something going on, do something. There's places leaving at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. So if you're in Chicago, Denmark, Mexico City, Iowa, any one of my athletes that train remote, grab your family, find yourself a place that you can go hike and spend about 2 hours outdoors. That's, again, is why I love the internet and the ability to transition the stuff that we're doing not only locally, but remotely. And that's the thing is you guys have the date, you have the coaching, and you now have the inspiration in order to do that. So when I ask you, if our motivation inspires you to be better, get out there, participate. I'll see you guys there. T3 Body, you guys, is a company and a fitness company that really talks about the complete athlete. When I talk about our motivation inspires you to be better, all right, as a non-for-profit that supports military veterans that suffer from mental health issues, I really enjoy the support you guys are giving me here on YouTube. But again, I am seeking clients on my T3 Body. So if you go ahead and take a look at my website, understand that the intimacy of getting to know you starts with just 30 minutes of motivation. So you go on there, you sign up for one of those, you get a one-on-one remote talk with me just like this. Then I encourage you to go and look at one of my training plans, download a 4 to 8 week training plan, and really kind of just test your body, test yourself, and just really start to get yourself ready to then do the next thing, is where you get 4 or 5 of your friends together and dare yourself to be better, where there you have a little bit more of my information along with my training plan. You get some remote sessions with me regardless of where you're at. You notice if you're watching me on YouTube right now, you can hear my voice and I can train you, all right? And that 45-day dare is a great way to just see and challenge yourself to really do the final thing, is become a member. Being a member with me is a commitment, and it's made for just an elite amount of people. So when I talk about membership here, I really talk about a really elite group of individuals who really understand our core values of God, country, family, and really live by and have really adopted where our motivation inspires them to be better. So I wanted to touch on that, you guys, and really use that so that individuals like yourself who are getting better and inspiring others that understand that, you know what, we do need your support to keep everything going.